Hello, it's Crafty Carol here from a very wet and windy Northern Ireland, but hopefully we'll still get on with our project before Storm Debbie destroys us. Anyway, I wanted to use today the beautiful Beary Cute set, which has a lovely stamp set and a matching punch with these really cute polar bears. There is a DSP that goes with this set. I'm actually using the Walk in the Park DSP, which also matches this set for my projects. And I've got today's card to show you, and then next time I've got a gorgeous gift box and then a decoration too, but more on that next week. For this project, I'm going to do a card. So let me show you the card first. This is the card. I'll have to hold it this way to show you. It's a rocker card, so it'll rock and stand up like that. I mean, it will stop rocking. There we go. And it is just an easy card to make if you have the right things. And it's made from the lovely Deckled Circles set. So this is the set of dies, and you can see they're huge. That the big one is this big one, and it makes a card which fits, as you can see, as I've got a matching envelope here, it fits beautifully into you've got to be a little bit careful where you stick that one. It fits into our normal envelope. So the ones I've used for this, I've used the large die for the outside circle. I've used the next size down for the DSP, and I'll show you all about that in a minute. And then for the two circles here, I've used a basic white circle and a balmy blue circle, and I've used the 5th and 6th dies out from the center. So if you want to do, I have no idea how they're numbered or called, but that's how I've organized it. Right, so let us get all the things together and let me show you how to make this card. So I've already cut my circles. So that is my large, my large circle. This is my DSP circle. I'll show you how we do that in a minute. And then I have got that size circle, the 6th size circle out for the background, and then the size smaller basic white circle as well. Then I've got a few bits of scrap card to do the decoration, but let me show you how to put this together. So the first thing to do is to fold this in half, and what I suggest is that you sort of find an area where it sort of naturally sits, so it's just fallen to there. So I'm going to make that the bottom, and then I'm just going to fold it. It's obviously not exact, they're deckled circles, but I'll fold it over there and then use my bone folder just to crease the crease, okay? So there we go. So that folds my card, and if I've got that right, it'll stand more or less straight, okay? So that's how to start off. First step, fold that circle. Then we need to stick the DSP on. Now, obviously, if I just stick it on, then I'm going to have some trees the right way up, but trees on the other side are going to be back to front. So what we do is you're going to place the trees, or whichever, I mean, if you're using just an ordinary pattern paper, it doesn't really matter, but for the trees, I do want them to be showing sensibly. And this paper has got a lovely snowflake pattern on the back, which I'm going to use. So I'm going to place it in place against here. And do you see how I've just left it the gap, the normal gap all the way around? Turn it over, then use a pencil to run down the fold so that you've got a mark down the center of that piece. And then I've just put this card on top of my trimmer, which is stupid, can't get hold of it. There we go. And then I can use my trimmer, because I can line up my pencil mark down the groove in my trimmer, check it straight by looking through the groove, and then simply cut that piece in half. So now I have a piece with trees the right way up, and I can turn that piece and stick it on there. So that's my next job, is to stick these pieces on. So this is beautiful paper, this Walk in the Dark paper. It really is. It's got a lot of different patterns on it, but there are I think 6 sheets that match this particular set. So the colour, by the way, that I'm using here is Balmy Blue. So there we have that piece on. Then I'm going to stick this piece on. So obviously I need to put the glue on this bit. There we go. So those are my bits of DSP on my cards. That's nearly ready. Now what I am going to do is to do the inside stamping before I put any decoration on the card, because it's difficult to lie the card properly flat once it's got all the other layers on. So I haven't prepared this properly, but I've got my Warm Wishes. I've got a Balmy Blue ink pad. I'm going to use Warm Wishes for the inside. So I'm just going to stamp that in the centre there. And then I'm going to use the snowflakes. Now in this set, there are 2 different sizes of snowflakes. There's a large snowflake and a small snowflake. So I like to put them both on my block, just offset a little bit. And then I can use those to just add some decoration. Do it properly, Carol, dear heavens. That was very cavalier, wasn't it? So luckily I can see through these stamps and line them up again. Now I can get it not quite as bad. Dear me, that was dreadful. Let me try better on this side. Line it up and press down. There we go, that's better. So I've got my Warm Wishes, still leaves me a little space to write on there. And while I'm at it, I can decorate my envelope with the same stamp. So I'll just do that. So I like to decorate the envelope in the top and bottom corners here. You can add, dear heavens, talk about rushing this. I'm going too quickly for myself and not stamping correctly. Luckily I can see through the stamp, which really helps. So then I'm just going to put another couple of snowflakes on there. I could cover the whole back. I'm not going to, just for speed for now. I might come back and fill it in with snowflakes later. Okay, so that's got those bits done. So now it's about putting the rest of the card together. So for this basic white circle, I'm actually going to emboss it with this lovely snowflake. You can see it, perhaps against my hands, you can see the detail in that embossing folder. It's got lots of dots of snowflakes plus some larger snowflakes. So I'm going to choose an area, which I think I will choose this area here because it's got 3 larger snowflakes. So I'm going to place my piece of card there, and now I'm going to go and run it through my embossing machine, and I will be back in a minute. Obviously you need the large cut and emboss machine for this one, but here is my piece all embossed, so you can hopefully see the big snowflakes and the bobbles on there. So next I'm going to stick that to my circle. There we are. And now I'm going to stick this onto the card. So this is where you need to stick it roughly halfway down, and you can test it by holding it against the envelope before you actually stick it down, so that you can check there is enough room to actually get it into the envelope. So stick it about halfway. So I think, yes, I'll have those snowflakes up there. So I'm going to obviously put glue only on the bottom half. So approximately there. And then just place it down and stick it on. There. Okay, so to finish the card, I'm going to have a polar bear and some trees. I've already stamped the trees, so I've stamped the outline in Memento and then used the infill stamp, because there's 2 stamps in the set. So I've done the outline in Memento and the infill stamp, which doesn't fill it, as you can see. It's just a bit of decoration, so you don't have to be too exact matching them up. And that I've done in Lost Lagoon, because I didn't want a dark green against this card. It's too soft with the colours, so I'm leaving it as Dark Lagoon. So I just need a bear, and the beauty of this is I don't have to fussy cut it, which I did have to do with the trees. So we'll have the bear on there and get the Beary Cute punch, and then I can punch him out. So just line him up. So I always use punches upside down, by the way. People, if you struggle with the pressure with that, because they are quite hard to push through, then you can sort of start it, turn it over and then push down. But I find if I use 2 hands, I can press on it with both hands, and that allows me to punch out my bear. And then I've chosen the Merry Christmas greeting to go on the front. I've got a spare little scrap of basic white, so I'm going to stamp that on there. Just Merry Christmas, there we go. Just close my ink pad up before I get ink everywhere in my usual way. And then it's just a matter of putting these decorations on. So I'm going to just put a little flag on the end of this by, I'm not going to measure it this time, I'm just going to cut into the middle, just a little bit down, and then come from each corner to the point, just to cut out those 2 triangles. There we are. So, ooh, there's my flag. That could actually bend it a bit. Don't know. Might flag both ends. I think I did on the other one. Yeah, perhaps not. I haven't got quite enough room there. But I am going to add a little bit of extra for that. I am going to add a little bit of ribbon. And I think I shall actually add a double bit of ribbon here. This is an old ribbon. I haven't got the new balmy blue ribbon, but there is some nice balmy blue ribbon in the catalogue. So I need it to be that long, folded in half. So I know where to cut with my very special ribbon scissors. Always keep scissors that are just for ribbon. So, just looking for my tear and tape there. So I'm going to put a line of tear and tape along here. Move out of the way, you, at the moment, trees, you're not on yet. So I can then peel that off and then place my ribbon across, and I'm going to stick part of it to the top, have a fold there, and then the other piece down at the bottom. And I can trim it then if it's a little bit too long, obviously. There. That's good, and I am going to need to trim that. Ribbon scissors, of course. We'll have that one going that way. There. So there's my ribbon, and on top I'm going to stick my sentiment piece down with dimensionals. And I'm going to be quite generous with dimensionals. When you're sticking onto ribbon, you need a fair bit of sticky. So often I get away with 2 on a sentiment this big, but for this I am going to use all 3. So we'll pop that across there, and then it just remains to put the other pieces on. So I'm actually going to stick the first tree on and then put the second on with dimensionals. So because I'm going to have my tree sticking out slightly to the side, I need to make sure I only put glue on this part of the tree. So sort of circular like that. There we go. Hold it down for a second. I'm sticking it onto an embossed piece of card, so you do want to hold it for a second because it's not as easy as sticking it onto something that's flat. And then the next tree I'm going to add with dimensionals. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to put some dimensionals for my bear. So there are my 2 trees. And finally, my little bear, who's going to be looking across at the trees. Walking towards the trees, I don't know, something like that. And just to finish it off, another part of this lovely Beary Cute suite are these gorgeous gems. These are in 3 different colours. I can find out where the opening is there. And they're 2 different sizes. As you can see, you've got small gems at the top and the larger gems at the bottom. So I'm just going to use, no, let me think. No, I think I shall just use the clear gems for this. So I'm going to have a couple. We'll have a big one and a little one just up there. And then we'll have another one, perhaps as the eye on the Christmas. There we go. Could use the blue ones too. So there's my little bit of bow. There's my card standing up nicely. And it's quite a simple card, but it's very effective and just different. And it's nice sometimes to have different cards, isn't it? So I hope you enjoyed that project. If you want the instructions and all the measurements, they are in my blog at craftycarolscards.co.uk. And I will see you again soon with another project. Thank you for joining me today. Bye for now.